What's up, everybody? Axe Wizard here. Wanted to make a little quick guitar tutorial video. I saw one of my viewers who's been sharing a lot of cool stuff with me lately. He uploaded a video about his journey learning sweep picking, and it kind of inspired me to make a little video about it. I don't know if it's going to help anybody or not, but I learned how to sweep pick a little while ago. I'm still not that great at it, but I kind of get by. I'm able to use it in some of my solos, but it sounds a bit rough. So like I've got like one solo I did for a video a while ago where like the solo is that basically something like that. It's messed up, but there's a little sweepy part in there, you know? So I'm kind of getting the ability to sweep, and how I started learning those is I first expanded my knowledge of scales. So what I'm going to run you through is how scales work. If you already know, it's kind of boring. And then I'll also teach you how to find the chords in those in your scale, and then I'll teach you a few common patterns of playing the chord notes in individual arpeggios. And then basically what you're doing when you're sweep picking is you're stacking those arpeggios on top of each other. So let me show you what I mean. Let's talk scale, right? A scale is just a series of notes, a series of intervals that define what a scale is. So I play a lot of stuff in a minor scale, which typically sounds sadder. So this is a minor scale. Right, that just sounds a bit sad. Here is a major scale. Right, that typically sounds a little happier. You probably hear that like a lot in classic music, right? Like there's the for pianists and stuff like that, they always start with the C minor or the C major scale. So that's kind of happier. I'm going to go with the minor scale because that's what I play a lot. So once you learn the notes of your scale, let's figure out how to construct a minor scale. So if we start on our E note, I'm just using a standard 6-string tuned to E standard. So my bottom note and my top note are both E. So if we start at the bottom, this is our root note, right? Open. So this is 0 essentially if you're looking at a guitar tablature. And then the next interval is what's called a whole step, which is 2 frets. So if we go 2nd fret, cool. Next interval is a half step, which is 1 fret. So then we go whole step, half step, whole step, and then a whole step to go back up to the octave. So that is how a minor scale is constructed. Right, and you can choose to arrange those however you want on the guitar. It doesn't matter where you start. So let me show you a common shape that a lot of people use to play the minor scale. It's one I use all the time. So I just say I'm starting 7th fret, right? So I go 7, 9, 10, and on the string above, I go 7, 9, 10. And on the string above, you just go 7, 9. That's the minor scale. So now you kind of have a loose understanding of how to construct a scale. Wherever I start my note, so I'm starting on E. What if I want to play, I don't know, like B? Well, I would find where that note is, and then I would just play that shape. And then if you want to keep like going up further, basically as soon as you get to your octave, it starts over. It just repeats. So if we're going back to E here, octave, we just start over. And then we keep doing that. Until you can't go anymore. So that is, once you kind of get used to how your scale is constructed, you can start basically moving that around wherever you want. So if I'm starting on my 12th fret here, that's an octave. You can figure out how to move those around, right? So scales are very important because those kind of tell you like what notes you can really play. It's not like you're trapped in there. You can do whatever you want. There's lots of different scales. You know, I learned like the Hirojoshi scale recently. So that was pretty cool. And then there's other stuff like Phrygian. Right? Well, lots of different scales, right? There's just tons of different scales out there. So basic minor scale, whatever you figure out how to construct your scale, again, every scale is just a collection of intervals. You could start learning how to define the chords of your scale. So let's take our minor scale again. I'm just going to go back to E here. So to find the chords, a chord is basically a root, a third, and a fifth. Your basic chords, root, third, and a fifth. So if I'm starting at E, that's my root. And then I just go up to the third. 1, 2, 3. There's my third. And then I find the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those three notes. That's my chord. So let's look at some common ways to play those same notes. So you can do it like I'm doing here. And I'll have tabs on the screen here. You can do it like that. Or you take this third, you can find the matching note on the string above and then do something like this. Again, same notes, just different way of reaching them. Or you can make it so you can actually play a chord with it and make sure every note is on a different string. And how you can do that is, well, we've already got the third degree on a different string. So let's take that fifth. There we go. There you go. So now you can play it that way too. Now, for sweeping, all you're basically doing is you're taking the chord, whatever chord you want to play, and you're just separating that out into an arpeggio that you can play the notes individually, and you're sort of stacking those arpeggio shapes on top of each other. Let me give you an example. Right? So if we look at the what I just played there, we're using this that shape, and then we go up here. That's our octave, so we just start over. So I'm just basically playing this. I'm starting up here, and then I'm just going back down. So then you can go through and you can find the chords in your scale. For your basic minor scale, there's three types of chords. There's the minor chord, there's a diminished chord, and then there's a major chord. So the minor is just what we played. And what makes it minor is just, again, it's the intervals between the notes. If you want to hear what the diminished sounds like, just go to your second degree in your scale, and that is your diminished chord in a minor scale. So if your second is your root, then we just go to third from there. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's similar to our minor scale so far, but what about the fifth? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we want to make that work, we'd have to go. It's a chord that doesn't, it's got it's a little more dissonant than most chords are, so that's why it's great for metal. Like you can sweep pick that all day and it'll sound brutal, right? But that's your diminished chord. And if you want to hear what a minor or a major chord sounds like, you can go to your third degree. So your third is always going to be a major chord in your minor scale. And if we just follow that same principle of finding our root third and fifth, so there's our root, there's our third, okay, so there is a major chord. It typically sounds happier than a minor chord. So if we take a look at those shapes, every chord, it only really has one note difference. So if we take a look at our minor, and if you want to make it major, all you have to do is just sharpen or raise it by 1 fret. That third degree, just raise it by one fret. And then there's your major. You want to go back to diminished, all you have to do is flatten or like go down 1 fret, the 5th degree of your scale. And guess what? There you go. Now we have diminished. So those 3 chords are what your scale is made of. So there's a pattern that I kind of recognize where it's like your 1st, 4th, and 5th notes are always minor. Your 3rd, 6th, and 7th notes are the major, and then your 2nd is diminished. So if we're going through our chords, right? There we go. We just went through all the chords in our scale. Now, let's start sweeping those. So if we start on our thing here, just find that octave. So there's 3 basic sweeping shapes that I use as well. So there's the minor sweeping shape. There's the diminished. And there's the major. Guess what? Now you know the chords in your scale. You also know the sweeping shapes in your scale. So you, with a little bit of practice, you can start kind of sweeping the entire scale. And so as you're playing, and you're playing like a chord progression or something like that, you can figure out what sweeps will go over your song. So let's just try to go up the entire E minor scale here. There we go. We just sweeped the whole E minor scale. You can try going back down if you want. That's also hard. You can also try like mixing, so you can try like going up, changing like advancing to the next chord, and then trying to go down. So that's also kind of fun. So that's the basics of how I sweep. That's what I've learned so far. There's tons of different sweep shapes. The stuff I was showing you there is a 5-string sweep, which I find easiest. A lot of people like to start with the 3 or the 4-string sweeps. Anyway, there you go. There is sweep picking. Hope that helps. because I typically just like to throw a few sweeps every now and then and just see what I come up with. And anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in whatever video I make next.